Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Joan Vassos reveals secret to healing after late husband's death. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos is nearing the end of her journey as the Golden Bachelorette. She now is down to 2 men and fans will see her final air next week on November 13. Prior to that special night airing, she is opening up about healing after losing her husband John. She struggled for some time with moving forward, and now she's sharing what got her over the hump. Keep reading to find out more about Joan's secret to healing after his death. Joan Vassos shares secret that helped her move forward. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos opened up recently about how she was able to move forward in her journey. Fans have seen her mention her late husband John very frequently during her time as the lead. Now, she admits she had some time during filming when she wasn't sure she could love someone else. She didn't know how to move forward. Joan didn't want to let go of John. She felt guilty. She spoke with people and revealed the secret that she learned that helped her. Joan had unresolved feelings where John was concerned, and she didn't know how she could let someone else into her heart. She went on to say that the show provides psychiatrists at the mansion to help when contestants feel their mental health needs a boost. Joan had an appointment with them, and they helped her gain clarity of where her mind was at and how to deal with it. She evolved a lot throughout the season. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos reveals that she evolved a lot throughout her season. Her journey as the lead was far different than what she thought it would be. She had to grow in order for the process to work. She did, and she's happy with how the journey played out. Overall, Joan was surprised at how much she evolved. One example is falling for more than one person. She never thought she was capable of having feelings for more than one man. This did happen. Now she's down to 2 and fans will see where her heart leads her on the season finale next week. In the golden hours of her life, Joan Vassos found herself embarking on a journey that was both unexpected and transformative. After the tragic loss of her beloved husband, Joan's world became an echo of memories, a quiet rhythm that held both the beauty of the past and the silence of a future she never anticipated facing alone. But as many have come to learn from Joan's story, her journey was not just about grief. It was also a profound journey of healing, self-discovery, and rekindling a love for life. For Joan, the path to healing after her husband's death wasn't something she ever planned. They had been together for decades, building a life filled with shared laughter, dreams, and love. His passing left an undeniable void, one she was unsure how to fill. In the beginning, she admitted, the grief felt insurmountable. I didn't know if I'd ever feel whole again. Yet, with a determined spirit, Joan began to lean into the process of healing, discovering along the way that her husband's love and influence were guiding her from within, even in his absence. Embracing the memory without losing herself. One of the key steps in Joan's healing journey was learning to honor her husband's memory without letting it consume her. The memories, they're beautiful, but they can also weigh heavy on you if you let them, she shared. Joan recognized that holding on to her husband's memory meant celebrating the life they had shared together, but she also needed to create new memories in her own life. This didn't mean letting go of her past, it meant making room for her future. To do this, Joan developed a ritual of talking to her late husband each morning. She would speak out loud, sharing her thoughts and updating him on her day, as if he were still there beside her. I found comfort in imagining he could hear me. It felt like he was still a part of my life, still a part of my story, Joan said. This practice allowed her to grieve without being overwhelmed and gradually made space for hope and new beginnings. Finding solace in community and connection. Joan also found that sharing her grief and experiences with others made a world of difference. When she joined a support group for widows and widowers, she was initially unsure if she'd feel comfortable. Yet the empathy, understanding, and kinship within that circle brought her comfort she hadn't expected. It was a space where I didn't have to explain myself, where everyone understood the complicated emotions that come with losing a partner, she shared. Being surrounded by people who had experienced similar losses gave Joan the courage to open up about her own struggles, fears, and hopes. She started forming new friendships, finding herself again through the connections she made with others who were also finding their way through loss. Through these connections, Joan began to realize she wasn't alone, and this was a key to her healing. Rediscovering joy through small acts of self-care. Joan's journey wasn't only about emotional healing. It was also about taking small steps to reconnect with the world around her. She decided to take up gardening, a hobby that her husband had always enjoyed. She wasn't quite sure how she'd take to it, but she found a deep sense of peace in working with her hands, planting flowers, and watching them grow. It felt like I was bringing a little bit of him back every time I planted something, she explained. Gardening became a way for her to connect with her husband's spirit, nurturing life and beauty just as he had done. Through her garden, Joan learned the beauty of patience and the importance of self-care. She created a morning routine, sitting in her garden with a cup of tea, listening to the birds, and breathing in the fragrance of her flowers. These small acts became essential to her healing, grounding her and giving her a sense of purpose, opening herself up to new experiences. As Joan's heart grew stronger, she began opening herself to new experiences. She found herself saying yes to things she might have avoided before, from traveling with friends to joining a local book club. Joan had once traveled extensively with her husband, but doing it alone was initially daunting. Eventually, she took a solo trip to Greece, a place she had always dreamed of visiting. It was bittersweet, she admitted. But being there, standing on the shores of a beautiful new place, I felt a connection to him and also a newfound freedom. This trip became a symbolic step in Joan's healing process. She discovered that the world was still full of possibilities, and that even without her husband, she could find beauty and meaning in her experiences. She learned that joy was something she could cultivate within herself, regardless of the circumstances around her. Finding love again in unexpected places. In her journey of healing and rediscovery, Joan also found herself open to the possibility of love once more. Though it was something she never anticipated, the idea of companionship began to appeal to her as her heart healed. She had the opportunity to meet someone special, a man who understood the depth of her past love and respected her journey. For Joan, finding love again wasn't about replacing her husband, but about honoring her own needs and allowing herself to be happy. She expressed that her late husband would have wanted her to live a full life, to continue sharing love and light with the world. I think he'd be proud of me, she said, for finding the courage to open my heart again, even though it took a long time. Joan believes that love, in all its forms, is what helps people heal, and her new relationship has brought her a sense of joy she didn't know was still possible. Sharing her story to help others. Today, Joan has become a beacon of hope for others experiencing loss. She has shared her story with audiences and written about her journey, hoping to inspire others to find healing in their own lives. She speaks about the importance of honoring the past while moving forward, of finding small ways to bring joy back into life, and of allowing oneself to love again. For Joan, the secret to healing after her husband's death was never about getting over him, but rather about integrating the love and memories they shared into a new chapter of her life. Her story resonates with those who have lost loved ones, offering a reminder that healing is possible and that joy can return, even in the most unexpected ways. As Joan reflects on her journey, she often recalls something her husband used to say: "Life is a gift, cherish it, live it, and share it." And that's exactly what Joan is doing, one day at a time, as she honors his memory and creates a beautiful, fulfilling life in his absence.